Hello ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's YOBOI 3 and welcome to Boss Rush Island 5, the finale. And this one is a pretty horrible start if you're not on computer, but if you are on computer, it's kind of fine. We're just going to be starting off with a bunch of 010 dartlings, and you're going to want to be targeting them yourself. Now the reason why it is much better to be playing on computer for this is because you're going very quickly need to be placing dartlings without mistargeting them, and so on computer if you use a hotkey, then you can not move the dartlings while you're placing a new dartling. I hope that kind of makes sense. You're going to see it more later when we're placing down a village for super monkeys, but yeah, we're going to be starting off with 9 of these bad boys, the 010s, and of course make sure to have Benjamin as your hero. Without Benjamin, it is of course way harder to afford the boomerang paragon at the end, and so we're just going to stick Benjamin right behind this here bush. You can see that all of our dartlings are targeting right onto the boss, even while we're placing towers, which is just super convenient, and that's what I was talking about earlier with the whole dartling thing. You're going to get down a 202 village right to the left of this bush here. Placement doesn't have to be completely perfect, especially because we are planning on selling this village later. We're going to get down a super monkey who's going to be able to stop us from leaking so many lives, and then just get this guy up to a 002 on strong targeting so that it'll target the boss, and then get it up to a 202 so it'll actually deal some good damage. Now we're going to be saving up for a Sun Avatar. These guys are super efficient boss killers, I'm telling you. Camouflaged Phayze is just such a fun boss. Once you're at about $10,000, you're going to want to start selling all of your dartlings. Now it kind of does depend on how quickly you can sell them. I only did it at $8,000 because I thought I was slow. Turns out I'm super fast, so I was 2k early. Anyways, we're going to be going for a second Sun Avatar. These guys, as I said, super efficient, lots of powerful damage. And then we're going to start farming. Now for farming options, we're actually not that limited. We have the druid, we have the village, and we have a engineer. Now we're going to place down this discount village in order to kind of bridge the gap so that we can abuse the first discount, and then we're just going to get this guy to a 104. You can get it to a 204 and sell the first village if you want to, however I kind of completely forgot. That's my bad. We're going to be saving up here for the XXL trap, which we're going to get nice and early to utilize how much money it makes before round 50. I mean, seriously, every single one of these is going to be making like $20,000. No, that's a guess, but it's between 10 and 20,000. It's super powerful, and it's going to be enough for us to buy jungle drums on this village, which I forgot to do. There it was $17,000. And then we're going to start saving up for a mad. Just get the dartling to a 240. You could get it to 140, but I'm lazy, so I like to click the buttons fast, and that means I have to get it up to all the way to 240. Hope that makes some sense. Otherwise, just ignore it. Once you're at about $40,000, you can sell the Sun Avatars in order to get up an overclock and mad. You should get the overclock up first so that you can use the ability at the same time as you buy the mad. And then once you're using that mad ability combo, you're going to very quickly need to buy a Spirit of the Forest. Make sure that you're moving your trap along as well. Every 10 skulls, the balloons will start spawning out of a new portal. So you can see here I'm about to hit skull 60, and so I retarget my balloon trap. We're going to be saving up now for a homeland defense. You can see I got the call to arms up, and then hopefully before we need to use our abilities again, we'll be able to afford a homeland. And it looks like we perfectly do, which is great. We use the overclock, buy homeland, use the homeland, and then use the mad ability all at once, thus giving us like a free 10 skulls instantly. This is just such an OP combo, and that's why we use it every single time. We get to the 17th skull, and luckily we're able to move our engineer trap down in order to hit the newly spawning balloons, which is great. Now you could use 2 farmers this video, however I would really recommend just kind of avoiding farmers and collecting the traps yourself. This is like the one time I'm saying this. Usually I love farmers, but this time it's just not worth it. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and use code YOBOI, that's YOBOI, in the BTD6 store if you haven't already started doing that. It's on Island 5, so I'm assuming you have. Keep on using the mad trick, and then just get down your tier 5 boomerangs. And this last tier 5, I'd recommend you either wait or just listen and think about why we're placing it here at the end. So the reason I place it here is because I thought we wouldn't get the boomerang until almost the very end, and I wanted it to be able to hit as far right on the track as possible. That is usually the best thing to do. However, on a map like this with these massive curves, it's sometimes better to place it much more to the left so that you have more uptime where the boomerang's actually attacking the boss, because you get the boomerang up really early. So I think if you're on pace with me, you're at the same spot, you have the same amount of money, you've placed down all your tiers, and you're like, okay, we have so much money that we can get the boomerang up super early, like YOBOI 3 did, then you're going to want to move the boomerang pretty significantly to the left. In fact, you might even want to put it like 2 whole boomerang placements to the left, where that most left boomerang is right on the bend. I hope that kind of makes sense. But yeah, just keep on targeting your mad, and really the placement's not going to matter too terribly much, but it would be better to place it more left, that's all I'm saying. But if you are behind, like I was expecting to be, then you can just place your boomerang as far right as I did, as this is a pretty decent spot anyways. You're going to see here that we saved up $180,000, which means if we sold everything, that we'd be able to afford it, but since there's invisibility coming up and it's better safe than sorry, I decided to use it and then make a couple of extra dollars, and then I sell everything for the boomerang paragon. I had $22,000 extra, and now that we have the boomerang paragon, set it to strong targeting, and we're going to get down to mad. Degree 25 is very good. Again, you guys really only need degree 20. I don't know why I said again. I'm just so used to it. My bad. I just speak reflexively. We're going to be getting the mad down, lock it in place, get it jungle drums, get it an overclock, and now we're saving up for our homeland's defense. We're making money pretty fast just because of Benjamin and how fast we're clearing up the rounds. You're going to want to use the boomerang ability as soon as humanly possible every single time it comes up. If you have like big memory loss, you might want to just get down a tech bot so that you don't have to manually press it. That's up to you though. Now we're going to just be spamming down a bunch of 302 sun avatars. They were here at the start, and we're going to end with them too. Get up a cripple moab after you get 2 of them, as well as getting up a second village. This guy's just going to be a 202 so that you can place more sun avatars. The sun avatars are pretty money efficient, however they're just not nearly as good as the mad, so that's why we got the mad up first. Hope this video helped you guys out. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe, join the Discord if you are missing a team. You want a team that finishes these things faster, whatever. You want to have more people in your team, post a link in the Discord. I'll see you next time. Peace out. Bye.